I want you to be happy. I want you to have a smile on your face at the end of the day, and a smile on your face in the middle of your day, and when you wake up in the morning, because you are taking charge of your happiness. Welcome to Classic Advice. I'm Scarlett Classic, your host. My goal with this podcast is to share my life advice and experiences with the purpose to inspire and challenge us to become better versions of ourselves. Each and every episode will be dedicated to that. Well, let's dive in. The topic that I picked for us this week is that I learned a lesson when I was going through therapy, that my happiness and your happiness doesn't depend on anyone except for ourselves. I used to be the type of person, and I know I've mentioned this before in my episodes, that I was a people pleaser, but even deeper into that issue of mine is that I used to do things and act in a way that I thought would please the people around me. I would say the things that I thought they wanted to hear. I would do the things that I thought they wanted me to do. And I found myself getting frustrated when they wouldn't do the same thing for me in return. And I was confused as to why I was so unhappy. I don't think I was consciously aware of that's the reason why I was unhappy, but looking back, hindsight's 2020. That's definitely what I was thinking, is why aren't people doing that for me too? When I went through my divorce, I went to a counselor, and she's the one that pointed this out to me. And I'm really happy that she did, because I started to really understand what it was that she was saying in my heart, and realizing that, yeah, I was putting all my happiness, all of that responsibility in somebody else's hands. And I wasn't owning it. I wasn't taking responsibility for my own happiness and doing things for me to make me happy. Not in a selfish way, like we talked about last week, about self-love versus selfishness. But just taking charge of my life and taking charge of my happiness. If you're unhappy, what do you have to do to change it? That's kind of what we're going to be talking about this week. So yeah, I started to really think about that. And like I mentioned last week, I went and got a horse. Now I no longer have a horse. I have 5 dogs. Yeah, I have 5 dogs, but no horse. But and they bring me joy. But now I'm a very creative person, and just doing something that is creative really brings me a lot of joy. I love how being creative makes me feel. I used to really be into painting, and I love painting, and I would love to be able to do it more. There's just not enough hours in a day with everything else going on in my life right now. But, that's one thing that I used to do. I mentioned that I used to do make hides. I built a few Lego sets, and I like the Lego, and it's really fun and relaxing, because it's kind of like a brainless activity. You don't really have to think to do it. Painting, I find, is the same way. I can just paint and just be in the zone. Writing, there are times when I get stuck and I just sit there and I'm thinking. So that's a little bit of a different aspect of being creative, because it takes a little bit of thought, because I need to think of the storyline and the characters and all that fun stuff. making this podcast, everything behind the scenes that goes along with it, that video that I put up on YouTube. And I'll do more of them. Don't worry, there's more to come. Knitting, puzzles, all of that stuff is being creative. And that's the kind of person that I am. That brings me a lot of joy when I have the time to do those kinds of things. Yeah, another thing that's not really creative, but I just love reading in general. I love reading. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that when you don't take time to do the things that bring you joy, when I don't take the time to do the things that bring me joy and really designate a time for it, I find that I'm more short-tempered. If I know, for example, today was quite a busy day, I just had a lot that I needed to get done. But I told myself that regardless of how much I get done, I mean, obviously, dinner needs to be made, lunches need to be made for the next day, but all the extra little stuff, like I mentioned that I changed out the sink faucet in my bathroom. Well, I hadn't put anything back underneath the sink because I was worried that my plumber work would leak. So I did that today, just kind of pittering away at things that need to get done. But I said at 8:00, I'm done. I'm done doing those extra little things that just have been kind of sitting around that they can wait. So at 8:00, I know tonight, I get to go be creative. That's something that I get to look forward to. And I love it. And I'm actually a half an hour early. It's 7:24 p.m. right now. Woohoo! I'm being creative right now. And then I'm going to go make dinner. Levi wants to learn how to cook. So he's actually been cooking with me. And I've been showing him how to do things. And then I'll make lunches. So it's kind of like, there's some flexibility there. But it's something that I get to look forward to. After dinner, I'm just going to relax. I'm just going to chill. Work on my book a little bit. Work on my podcast a little bit more because I'm doing it right now. And then I'm going to sit and read my book. And that just like the anticipation of knowing that I get to go do something that really makes me happy is making me happy right now when I still have stuff that I've got to go do. So it's like a double dose of happiness. Can't complain about a double dose of happiness. So yeah, making sure that I'm taking charge of my own happiness. It really has had that, talking about ripple effect. It's rippling throughout my life because it's making me a better mother, a better wife, a better friend because I'm not so short-tempered. Because I'm taking charge of my own happiness. I'm not putting it in the hands of anybody else. When I look back at how I used to do things, I just put my head in my hands and sigh. I was doing life the hard way. Oh, I really wish I would have learned this lesson a long time ago. Which is why I'm talking to you about it, because I want you to be happy. I want you to have a smile on your face at the end of the day and a smile on your face in the middle of your day and when you wake up in the morning, because you are taking charge of your happiness. You're making your needs a priority. And you deserve to be happy. And waiting for somebody else to give that to you, you can be waiting a long time, hon. You can be waiting a long time. And you don't deserve that. You deserve to be happy. Could you imagine for me if you carved out time in your day to do the things that you love to do? And how does that prospect of having that time set aside to do something that you really love that you really love to do. How does that make you feel? Are you smiling right now? I hope you are. So I've got a question for you. Who are you depending on for your happiness? Is it your partner? Is it your kids, if you have them? If you're a podcaster like me, is it the number of listens or followers that you have? Do you really want to give all that power away? Or do you want to get back on that horse, take the reins, and take control of your own happiness? I hope you get on the horse. So to speak, figuratively, because I don't have a horse. Now that brings me to the challenge of the week. This week, I want you to take those reins and take control over your own happiness. Imagine what it would look like. What do you want to do? And I want you to plan time in advance and do the things that make you happy. Make it a priority. And I get it. We all have really busy lives. I hear you. I feel you. Totally understand. But your happiness, making that a priority, it's going to change your life. It's going to change your day. It's going to give you something to look forward to. And I want to see that smile on your face. All right, the second part of my challenge, you guys all know. As my dear buddy JJ says, please pause. Think about what you're going to do this week. Love yourself. Go do things that are going to make you happy this week. And watch the ripple effect as it affects every single aspect of your life. Because you're happy and suddenly the sky's a little bit more blue. And when you're happy as a parent, your kids are going to light up. Kids love it. Love to see when their parents are happy. Your emotions really affect the way that your kids are. I've really noticed that in my own life. When I am in a great, fantastic mood, so are my kids. When I am tired or bummed out or cranky, it ripples into their mood as well. So the ripple effect, watch that ripple just expand. I know this week was a bit of a shorter episode. I am giving you some time back to go get on with your busy lives. So here's to you, my friends. Here's to you for every step that you take to become a better you. Stay classic, you guys. By that I mean stay unique, stay excellent, stay amazing. And that's a wrap for this episode. Thank you for listening all the way to the very end. Aw, you're the best. My website is ClassicChronicles.ca. If you want to head on over there, I have my co-hosts all listed there. If you click on their photos, it'll take you directly to their website. Go say hi to them. They would love to hear from you. Podcasters love hearing from their listeners. So go say hi. Don't be shy. And if you want to as well, there is a Buy Me a Coffee link on there, which all the proceeds I use to just pour right back into my podcast. It does cost me just a little bit to have this podcast going, and I would love to be able to support it instead of taking it out of my own pocket and maybe, take the kids for an ice cream because they don't like coffee. I love coffee though. So, all right, you guys take care and we'll see you next week. Bye.